Okay. Well, I'm controlling the controls here, so I can.
You are.
Right.
Great. So let me just formally introduce you. After growing up in the construction industry as a sixth generation member of a family owned commercial construction real estate company, Joseph started Contractor Dynamics in 2012 to help construction companies improve and grow their businesses by leveraging digital. Contractor Dynamics is based in Ashbury Park, New Jersey, and serves clients throughout North America in all segments of the industry, including roofing. And like I said, I know that we've seen you speaking in a lot of events, and we're really impressed with your presentation on brands. And so we're super excited to have you with our contractor base.
Yes. Thank you for the intro. Super excited to be here. So I'll jump right in. Just a little bit of fun background. This is my family's business, barge and tugboat company and marine construction up in New York City and tri-state area here. And my first job was sitting on one of these paint floats when I was 14 and in a shipyard and painting barges and tugboats with 5-gallon buckets of black and white paint pretty much every day. So definitely got an introduction into the construction industry that way, and worked in a family business for a while, learned a ton. We got to, it was a smaller business, so we got to do everything, right? Marketing, sales, and operations, and
Yeah.
insurance, and HR, and bank loans, and dealing with bankers and things like that. So, tremendous experience. And from that, I grew to love the whole marketing aspect and transitioned into that in 2012 because I saw that most construction companies are a little bit behind the times when it comes to marketing, or most companies in the construction industry rather. I think roofing, and one of the reasons that roofing is probably the biggest segment of clients that we have, is that a lot of roofing companies are really focused on marketing because it's a scalable sort of business, and that's what I really love. So we work with a lot of residential companies, some commercial construction companies, some manufacturers, some service providers to the industry, and we have some systems for digital marketing that we use to help our clients grow and improve and expand their businesses. Whether they're looking to grow revenue in their one location or expand into different locations, we want to be a marketing partner to our clients. That's just a little bit of background about me, but this webinar is all about you and really, getting an understanding of marketing. So if there's one thing that I'd like you to walk away with at the end of this hour, it's the having a better understanding of how all this marketing works, and really having an understanding that if you can control your marketing, then you can control the future of your business. Marketing is a big aspect of any business, not something that should be like an afterthought or something that you think about when you sit down at your laptop after a long day. It's something that should be a part of all aspects of your business, and pretty much every team member in your business should be thinking about marketing and how they're presenting your company. Whether it's like your shirts that you're wearing, or your wrap trucks, or getting referrals or getting reviews, or actually doing the digital marketing and lead gen and all that. If you can take control of your marketing, you're going to have a huge advantage over the companies that aren't taking control and just sort of hoping for the best or outsourcing everything. So the one thing, the marketing here is this red domino. So obviously I'm biased, I own a marketing company, so this is kind of my world. But if you really master this red domino, it's going to be the one domino that's going to be able to knock down the rest. So you can have the benefits of marketing are obviously growing your business through more customers, more projects, but also the ability to attract top quality talent to grow your organization. So, a lot of roofing companies that we work with are, looking to grow, but one of the things that's really holding them back is the inability to find and retain good people. So marketing and branding can really be a huge aspect of that, and that's something that not a lot of people are thinking about. And marketing can also help you get better profit margins. You're not competing on price as much with some of your competitors. I know roofing is in a lot of areas in the country is become sort of oversaturated in the past few years. So the ability to stand apart and differentiate your company and really build a brand is going to help you get more profitable projects, whether that's residential or commercial or other types of projects. So just want to get an idea. I want to be able to shape kind of this conversation based on who's here. If we can run this poll, I want to get an idea of who's here today, whether you're an owner or say like a marketing manager or admin or a sales position or other position. Can you just jot down A, B, or C there in the poll?
Awesome. We have about half of our audience has voted already. Most of everybody's coming in.
I'm assuming a lot of owners are the marketing managers.
Yeah,
That would be me as well. So
yeah,
that's cool.
kind of do it all.
All
Awesome.
right.
And we'll
Let
close
me-
the poll in about 5 seconds. There we go.
All right. So we have 34% owners, 21% marketing managers, and 45% sales and other positions. So that's pretty much what I thought. So thanks for being engaged. We're going to have a couple polls throughout the presentation here. So today's agenda, I'm not going to go through every single slide in detail because I'm going to bore you and it's going to be overwhelming. But I want to start out by making sense of the digital marketing landscape, like what's what. You know, there's so much information out there. Just want to give some clarity on that. I'm going to go through why a lot of digital marketing doesn't work and how you can make it work to be positive. Why you need to take control of marketing in your business, why it's the future of your business, how to build a brand that your market trusts. I'm going to go through what a brand is and what it's not. Then I'm going to go through the 6 components of a really unshakable roofing brand, which is going to kind of be the meat and potatoes of the presentation. I'm going to show you examples of how to attract high quality team members with your brand, show some examples of what companies are doing, and then we'll tie it all together at the end. We are going to have at the end, I'll share a link that we have where we created a video library of about 7 or 8 videos just for this webinar, just for Atlas, to give you a deeper dive into some of these topics, because we only have less than an hour here. We have some resources and downloads for you, and then we have some special offers for webinar attendees. So if you stick around to the end, get some of those goodies and help you kind of plan out a successful 2019. So the first thing I want to go through is the importance of getting an understanding. So whether you're doing all your marketing yourself or you're hiring a marketing expert or a marketing company to help you, or whether it's a combination of those two things, like done in-house and then having a marketing company do some things for you, which is the most common model and the model that I recommend, it's really imperative to have an understanding of these basics. There's so much information out there. You don't want to be going down the path of spending time and money on something that's not going to work. Obviously, that's no good for anyone because you're wasting time and money. But more importantly, there's an opportunity cost there. Going down the wrong path and not being able to grow your business the way you want. So having an understanding of this stuff is really going to help you market your own business, and it's also going to help you work with a marketing company or marketing expert more successfully, because you'll be able to collaborate with them. You'll be able to call them out if you want, or keep them accountable, and really see the most success that way. So having this basic understanding is the real goal, and that's the goal of this presentation. So when you have this understanding, you're much more in control of your business, much more in control of the future growth of your business. I'm going to dive into how digital marketing works a little bit. Now I'm going to change this up a little bit. I was going to go to the web to show you some examples and share my screen a little bit, but I don't want there to be a lag in the audio or in the video at all. So I'm just going to kind of walk through these things, but I can share some of those things as a follow-up in email as well. So we're going to walk through search versus social, some of the different channels where you can generate traffic and generate new business, Google AdWords, Google Organic, the hot topic of Facebook, and then I'll touch on some other social channels like Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn for B2B. So one more poll. What percentage of your business currently comes from digital? We have 0 to 10%, we have 10 to 30%, and we have over 30%. Curious to see where people are at right now. And if you're here, it I guess tells me that you're looking to maybe increase that or get better results from digital and make it a bigger part of your business.
Great. About half of you have voted. Go ahead and populate one of those selections so we can get an idea of what percentage of your business comes from digital. Awesome.
Okay, that makes sense. Over 30%, 0 to 10%, 46%, 10 to 30%, we have 42% of people, and then over 30%, that's 12% of people. So that's pretty much what I thought. Thanks for participating. So we're going to talk about search versus social. So search is Google. I'm using Google because they operate at about 85% of market share right now. Yahoo and the others follow the same suit. So with search engines, when people are searching for a roofing company, roof replacement, roof repair, roofing contractor, whatever it may be, when people are searching on a search engine, those people have what's called intent. They have a demand. They are either looking to hire a roofing company today or looking to get an estimate today, or they're doing their research because they might They know that maybe winter's coming and they need to take care of the roof or whatever it may be. So they have that intent. So the ability to to show up in your local area, in your city, in your town, where people are searching for roofing companies and related services is going to be really key. The demand is already there, and all you have to do is show up there and have a great, once you lead them to your website or landing page, then make sure that website does a great job of building trust and converting that visitor into an inquiry or a lead. So that's how search engines work. Now, social media, on the other hand, at least in 2018, using Facebook as an example, people are not going on Facebook right now and looking for a roofing company. These days with the recommendations, people might look for recommendations from their friends and family, or maybe post in one of like the local community groups, like looking for a roofing company. That's awesome. If you can get in there, that's probably great referral business for you. That's some of the best business you'll get, are some of those recommendations. But there's no search engine in Facebook, so people don't necessarily have that demand. So on social, we need to create that brand awareness. We need to create that demand. And so a lot of times when you see, if you've ever done Facebook ads and they haven't worked, a lot of the reason is because companies are putting out ads like, hey, we're ABC Contracting, we're great, contact us for a free roof estimate or inspection. And the problem is that people are not on Facebook or not on social to look for a roofing company, and they've never heard of you. So there's a huge disconnect there. So if you look at the orange and blue circles down here, search engines, there's intent, whereas on social media, it's all about building that brand identity and brand awareness so that when people are ready, you are in front of them, you're top of mind. So that's a big distinction, search versus social, when you're trying to figure out like what's going to be best for your business. We recommend a mixture of the both, of two of them. I'm going to go into Google AdWords here, and this is where I was going to go into screen share, but I'm going to talk through this. So again, when someone searches for, say, roofing companies in Atlanta, or roof replacement in Atlanta, or something like that, there's going to be that first page of Google search results. Now on the top, you're going to have your ads. Those are people that are paying every time someone clicks on that particular result. So those are called Google AdWords, pay-per-click advertising. There's going to be ads at the top, usually 3 or 4, and then at the bottom there's going to be another block of like 3 or 4 ads. So when you talk about pay-per-click advertising with roofing, you're talking about paying anywhere between say 10 to 30 or even up to like $50 every time someone clicks on that link. So that's cost per click, that's CPC. So that's not $30 per lead, it's $30 a click. Now you need to get people to a landing page, ideally not your homepage. Probably the number one problem with AdWords is that so many companies are sending paid traffic to a homepage that's not designed to convert that traffic into leads. And that's why AdWords doesn't work for a lot of companies. Another thing is that, a lot of companies just simply aren't spending enough money. If you're paying $30 a click and you're only dedicating a few $100 a month to Google AdWords, well, that's only a few clicks to your website and probably going to result in 1 lead, maybe 2 leads or something like that. So Google AdWords can work, but you need to have a strategy and you need to make sure that you have those other pieces in place to convert that traffic into leads. Google Organic, we have the map pack below the AdWords there. That's the local pack. It's usually a 3-pack, and now they started adding in another one, so it's a 4-pack, and the top one is a paid map listing, which is part of Google AdWords. So you can now have paid map listings, which is going to be huge because when people are searching on mobile, those map results are going to be much more prominent. So the ability to show up there on top, you're going to be able to capture much more of that demand there. And then below the map section, you have a local section. You have the organic section, which is where SEO or search engine optimization comes into play. Now, naturally, you're going to have some roofing companies in there. You're also going to have like the Home Advisors and the Yelps and the Yellow Pages of the world. And what those guys are doing is they're ranking up there, they're capturing that traffic, and then obviously selling those leads back to roofing companies. So that's how that whole model works. So when you're talking about paid ads, you're talking about Google AdWords or Bing ads in a lot of cases as well. And then you have the map pack, and then you have the organic pack or the organic section. Now on Facebook, one of the things that is really frustrating to business owners is that when you post on organic, you don't get any reach. You might have a few hundred followers, you might have a few thousand followers, and you'll post something and you think that's really going to be, maybe go viral or really cool, or maybe a video or an awesome project or whatever it may be. and you expect to get a lot more likes and engagement, and it just doesn't. And the reason is that Facebook, the organic reach is in single digits. So even if you have, say, 1,000 followers, you post something, only like less than 10% of people are actually going to see that post if you're not advertising it. I'm surprised I wasn't able to find a more updated graph than this, but this is the latest data from 2016. This is 1% organic reach, which means that when you post something organically on Facebook, you're going to reach 1% of your followers. I think the reality is that it's a little bit more. I think it's around 3 to 5%, but it's still super low. So this is why when it comes to Facebook, if you've been frustrated that you're posting and posting and posting and not getting the engagement, you've got to be backing your content, at least your good content, with advertising dollars. And it can be boosting, which can be okay sometimes, but the real benefit of Facebook is going into the business manager and the ad platform and setting up ad campaigns where you can really target in on your ideal prospective clients, your ideal market, and really get the most reach. I pulled a couple examples just from some of our clients here that give you an idea of the reach that you can have when you do Facebook advertising. So this is a remodeling renovation client of ours. It's a very specific kind of top of funnel blog post that if they posted this on their organic, and I think they have like 10,000 followers, they might get, a couple dozen likes and, maybe some shares and whatnot. But because they've been advertising this for several months, they have tens of thousands of people that have seen this content. So that's really one of the huge powers of social media advertising. It really doesn't cost that much. I don't have the stats on how much it costs to get someone to, to visit this blog post or this page right now, but it's pennies. So for pennies, you can get someone to come to your website and engage with your content, and ideally those people are going to be targeted. Here's another very simple example. Roofing company out in the Midwest, and you can see a simple ad like this with a kind of a soft call to action reaches 20,000 people. So Facebook has become a pay-to-play situation, similar with Instagram. And LinkedIn, I'm not going to really touch on right now because we don't have a lot of time on that. But if you're frustrated, then that's part of the reason is that that you need to be backing your offers and your brand awareness content, even if it's like video content. For pennies, you can get people to watch your videos on Facebook.
Joe, maybe towards the end you can go in and actually show on Facebook Manager where that area is and how contractors can locate it, because I think that is one of the biggest misnomers in specifically Facebook advertising is trying to figure out how to best leverage your dollars.
Okay. I might opt to do that like in an email follow-up, because if I pull up our business manager now, it's going to show all of our clients and all that. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a great point. I jotted that down. Thank you.
Mhm.
So we went through some, why Facebook marketing doesn't work. The big thing is that you need to really understand your market, their buying behavior. A lot of it's about psychology, just plain old common sense. Marketing has not changed in decades. The channels on which we operate has, yes, of course, Facebook, Google, and all these things, but basic marketing has not changed. It's about creating a brand. It's about direct response, about putting out offers and getting people to respond to those things, whether it's on radio or TV or billboard or yard signs or Facebook or Google. Those basic concepts haven't changed. So let's go to the next slide, sir. So here is the single biggest problem that most companies are making when they're not seeing success with their marketing. Roofing is what would be considered like a high ticket item, all right? Anywhere between, if we're talking about a replacement, depending on the area of the country that you're in, between 10, 30,000, 50,000, maybe 100,000 if you're talking about slate or cedar or something like that. So it's a big item. And even if you're doing storm restoration and storm restoration where the homeowner's deductible is only, a couple $1,000 out of pocket, it's still a pretty big consideration. So think about the fact that, when you generate leads or you generate interest or you do a campaign, only about 5 to 10% of people that come in contact with you are going to be ready to call you out to get an estimate today, to buy a roof today or this week or this month. Most people are looking for, maybe they're getting a few estimates, maybe they're doing the research, seeing what their options are, what things cost. People have so many things going on in their lives with kids and travel and everything. So most people aren't ready to buy today. Most people are going to be ready to buy in, say, the next 90 days or even longer than that, 6 to 12 months. So the challenge here is that most companies are going after Group A, and everyone's competing for Group A and trying to make that sale today. And there's so much pressure there, and there's so much competition. But not many companies are really having the patience and the strategy to focus on groups B and C. And that's what I want to dive into a lot today, is to build out some of these systems where you can not only generate leads today, because we all know if we need leads today, you can go buy them, you can go, run some campaign or go knock on doors or whatever that may be, but to build out the systems to be able to stay in front of your market, to build a bond with your market, and to be able to nurture people over time so that when they are ready to spend that money on a roof, whether it's a replacement or repair, whatever, then you're right there in front of them and you have built that relationship. Now, because you've been marketing to those people, and they've seen your brand for 1, 2, 3 months, they're going to be higher quality prospects and higher quality customers for your business, more likely to refer and all those good things. So this is the biggest problem, like whether we see it on Facebook or other ad campaigns where people are trying to get buyers, trying to get homeowners to buy, who want to buy a roof today, and not focusing on this bigger piece of the pie down here that could be much more lucrative, especially because roofing companies, most companies aren't focused on that longer term and don't have that patience. So this is all about taking control of your marketing so you have a roof over your head. That's my cute little pun of the day. And so you need to learn how to get your own customers. Like I talked about, we can all go out and get leads today, the home advisors of the world. I'm not going to knock anyone. That's not my style. All these things can be beneficial to your business, buying leads, telemarketing, door knocking. The fact is that you need to be able to have the ability to get your own customers. If you don't know how to get your own customers, you're not really in control of your business, and you're always going to be at the mercy of those who have the ability to get your customers, right? Not saying that you're going to go out of business or any doomsday scenario, but the more control you have over getting your own customers, the more control you have over your business. We all get frustrated at some of these companies that maybe not maybe they're frustrating to work with, but the fact is that companies like Home Advisor exist because they know that most roofing companies, most construction companies don't know how to get their own customers. So what they do is they show up in Google search results, they show up in the paid ads, they show up in organic, and they capture that traffic that you want, and they capture those leads and they sell them back to you. So that's part of that model. But the more you invest in your marketing, the more you commit to it, you can capture that traffic, you can capture those customers, and you can get them coming right to you. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about building a brand. I mean, building a company that your market knows and likes and trusts so that they contact you directly, and you're less of a commodity and you're more of like a trusted advisor, construction company that your market knows and trusts. So that's a brand. There's a lot of misconception about that. A lot of people think of brand and like, oh, fancy logo or just throwing a bunch of things out there and hoping that sales magically come in. But that's not really what it's all about. It's really about building a company that your market knows so that when they are ready to make a decision, whether that's today or 3 months from now, that you're top of mind, you're the company that they're going to call. As I mentioned at the beginning with those dominoes, when you build a brand, when you take control of your marketing, you have the benefits of getting better customers, more referrals, better team members. Like I said, that's a huge part of growing a quality business. Better culture, lower churn with your employees. So, if you have to hire employees and then, they're leaving, you have to constantly hire new employees. If you're doing more marketing and supporting your sales teams with marketing, then you're going to have lower churn. You're going to retain employees and team members much longer. And again, you can build a more profitable business the more control you take over your marketing. So we're going to go into the 6 pillars of a strong marketing foundation. And talked about why a lot of marketing doesn't work and people are going for the people that are ready to buy today. Another reason why we see a lot of marketing not working is because people are trying trying some Facebook ads over here or some SEO over here or some Yelp ads over here, and all these kind of things that aren't tied together in a solid foundation. And you're going to get lucky here and there, get some business coming from these different channels, but it's not going to be anything compared to when you have a strong foundation, you have the infrastructure in place to not only bring people into your business, but to be able to stay in front of them on a regular basis. So the 6 components of a strong marketing foundation that I'm going to go through here are: number 1, having a marketing plan, having a blueprint. Again, I think this is a great time of year, October, to be doing this webinar as we're kind of getting into the winter and planning for the next year. Once you have your marketing plan figured out, then you can develop the content that you need to get in front of your ideal clients, your perfect clients throughout the year, depending on the seasons and the offers and everything like that. Making sure that you have your web presence dialed in. So that's your website, that's your Google page, that's your Facebook, your social media pages, all that dialed in and really branded, and you have your reviews and everything is good to go there. So once you have that conversion mechanism, which is like where you're bringing everyone, then you have your traffic strategy. So how are you going to bring people to your website? That can be digital, that can be radio, TV, billboards, whatever it may be. And then what kind of follow-up system do you need to have in place to make sure that you're staying top of mind with everyone that that comes in contact with your roofing company? And that ties into database marketing, which is a huge opportunity that a lot of us are missing out on. So when we talk about building a marketing plan, we want to make sure that we have clear goals. We want to understand like what types of projects are we doing now and what types of projects do we want to do. So maybe we're doing a mix of residential and commercial. Maybe we want to do more of one or the other. But this is again a great time of year to plan that out. Like what do we want? Like be intentional about what you want for your business. What kind of hires are we going to need to make next year to support that growth? A lot of companies are hiring in the spring. Well, what can you put in place right now? Whether it's like a great career section on your website or some campaigns or going to some career fairs or whatever that may be, to make sure that you're ready to hire the best possible people and you don't have to wait till the last minute. And then we're going to go through some marketing math, which I'll have a slide on that as well. So when it comes to your goals, nothing new here, but it's something that is worth taking the time to sit down and go through. Like, what do you want your revenue to look like? What do you want your profit to look like? How big do you want your team? Do you want to stay in your current location, or do you want to expand locations? If you're going to expand and open up a new location, what's involved in that? There's a lot of moving parts that should be thought about ahead of time. What's your product and service mix? Are you focused just on replacement, or do you do repairs? Some of our clients will not do repairs. They just want to do the replacement. They don't want to mess around with the small projects. Some of our clients love the repairs because once they get a customer, it's a customer for life. You do a repair for a few $100 or $1,000 or even for free sometimes, and then you have that customer's trust and their relationship for life. And then fast growing versus manageable. A lot of us are entrepreneurial and like, yeah, I want to double and triple my business, and that's all great, but there's a lot that goes along with that. I personally know that. We've grown fast, we've grown slow at different stages, and it's definitely a different thing where you have like fast growing and then versus like a manageable business. So figure out what you want for your company for the next year. That's really going to help you kind of dial in like what you need to do for marketing. We went through this, like if you residential, commercial, multifamily, more than roofing. Some of our clients are doing roofing, but they're also doing siding and windows and some even remodeling and other things like that. So do you want to do some of those additional projects like for your customers, or do you want to like go to market with a new company or a new brand, or what are you looking to do? We're working with a company, or talking with a company in Texas now that's done really well. They're probably going to do 10 million bucks this year, just roofing, and they are just getting into window replacement. So now we're talking about building out a marketing program to get in front of their market with not only roofing, but their new window replacement service, and starting to go out to their initial list or initial customers or their existing customers and saying, hey, you might know us as a roofing company, but now we're doing windows. So that's like kind of that warm campaign to a warm audience, and then we can go to market with a digital campaign and advertising and all that. So think about what that looks like for your business. Marketing team plan. What kind of managers are you going to need? What kind of sales teams are you going to need? There's a lot of competition for sales teams. Economy is pretty good in most areas of the country right now, and construction is pretty robust. Roofing is pretty robust. There's a lot of competition for top sales associates. So how are we going to plan to make sure that we get quality people in the door to help support that growth? What kind of admin support are you going to need? What kind of partnerships? Partnerships like maybe Atlas, or maybe with an accounting firm, or maybe with like a real estate brokerage or insurance company, or whatever that may be. What types of things that do you need to put in place now to ensure that success for 2019? And then start to map that out, right? If you're going to hire in the spring, in March for your busy season, well, what can you do now to make sure that you're in the best position to do that? Here's an example of one of our clients. out in Ohio, they're hiring pretty much 12 months a year, and we have campaigns going for them online on Facebook and whatnot. I guess about 8 months a year. So they're always hiring, they're always growing, and they have a nice like careers page on their site. They offer benefits, they offer like all these different perks. They have a great culture. So this is something that you can put in place over the winter, so that when you are like doing any hiring campaigns, people can come to your site and see that you really care about your team, you really care about your culture. You know, these days we need to, as business owners, need to sell our company to prospective employees as much as prospective employees need to sell themselves to us.
Mhm.
So if we want to have those, you know, employees that really care and really go the extra mile and are really invested in our business, then we need to show those people that we're really invested in our team and our culture. So this is like an example of like a careers page on a website. This is an example of the client's Facebook ad campaign that we're running, like I said, about 8 months a year, because they're always hiring. At the end, I have a whole resource on like a 5-step hiring campaign that you can put in place in your business. But this is a simple video from the owner talking about the opportunities available, and talking about, you know, why they're different, and their culture and everything like that. So these are some of the things that, again, you can put in place now to support your growth. So then we get into the marketing math, and again, I'll have a resource at the end of the presentation for this to outline this. But you really want to like dial in to the numbers. You know, the numbers don't lie. The math is really practical. So like, what's your revenue going to look like? What's your average project revenue? What's your profit margin? Based on your average project revenue, how many projects do you need? Based on your number of projects, we're kind of working backwards here. How many estimates? What's your conversion rate from estimates to sale? You know, do 40% of all estimates turn into a sale? Do 30, do 60, whatever that may be. Look at your database. Hopefully, you're tracking these numbers, and look at these numbers. So then it's like, how many estimates do you need to do throughout the course of the year or every month to hit those goals? And then what's your conversion rate to inquiry or lead to estimate? So, you know, if you get 10 leads in the door, are 7 of them turning into estimates and then 3 of them into jobs? Try to work those numbers so you can really dial into the number of inquiries, number of, say, leads that you need on a monthly basis. You know, we have clients that know this pretty much down to the T. Like, hey, I need 500 leads a month from all sources to support the revenue goal that we have for this year. So how are we going to get that? Okay, we get
Mhm.
100, we get 100 a month organically. We get 100 from referrals. We get, you know, we need 200 from digital, whatever that may be. That's really going to give you a lot of clarity on what you need to do. So then you can figure out like, where are those leads going to come from, based on what you're doing now, based on what you can do, you know, what you can do moving forward. One of the big questions that's really eye-opening, and not a lot of people think about, and I didn't think about this till somewhat recently, is how much are you willing to pay to get a customer? You know, so based on these numbers here, what's the average? What's the profit margin of one of your projects, and how much are you willing to pay to get one of those? If I came to you and said, you know, right here in this envelope, I have this perfect customer ready to sign today. What are you willing to pay? Now, if you have, you know, if you do residential, commercial, different services, think about this in terms of one of those specific services. The reason that this is powerful, and it's not just another marketing guy telling you to spend more money, the reason that this is powerful is that the companies that really understand this math are the companies that can buy customers. They can
Yeah,
buy market share. Sorry, do you have something, Tara?
I was just agreeing. That's strong.
Okay. So these are the companies that can go out there and buy market share. Like, if you see a company that's dominating your market, chances are, or if you're dominating your market, hopefully, chances are that they understand this math. So just, you know, round numbers here. Say, you know, your average roof is 12,000 bucks and you're making, say, $2,000 profit on that. What are you willing to pay to get that project? Are you willing to pay $1,999? Probably not. That doesn't make much sense. But there's some number with between 0 and 2,000 that you're going to be willing to pay to get that customer. So once you figure out that math, a whole world of opportunity opens up where you can, you know, especially with online advertising these days, which is very scalable, you can go out and literally buy customers. So figure out that math, because most companies are focused on just getting cheap leads. You know, how cheap can I get leads? Can I get $10 leads? Can I get $30 leads? That's not really like, you know, we know that, you know, most companies that have been in business a little while know that, you know, those aren't good customers anyway. So that's not really the conversation to have. Like the conversation to have is like, how much am I willing to get a customer and where can I go buy those? So that becomes a really powerful kind of mindset shift when you figure that out. So once we have our, I'm going to speed things up a little bit because I'm noticing the time here. Once we have our marketing plan, then we figure out what kind of content do we need to get in front of our perfect customer. So that perfect customer that might not be ready to buy today, but is going to be ready to buy in say 90 days. So what kind of content do they need to make an informed, intelligent decision? You know, this is called, like, this is classic like consumer awareness guide, consumer awareness content. Someone is Mr. and Mrs. Jones are looking to replace their roof. What are some of the things that they're considering? Obviously, you guys know that Atlas provides you, or those of you who work with Atlas, provides you with a ton of resources and content and tools to share in your marketing and your sales presentations to really educate your market. So what other types of content do those people need to have in front of them to be able to make an educated decision, which ideally leads to choosing you? So what do they need to know? Like, with Atlas, you're not looking to sell based on cheapest price. In most cases, you're looking to sell on value. You're looking to show the value that high quality products will have, will add to their home, to their biggest investment. So once you figure out what that content is, map out that content and figure out what you need to get in front of people. A big thing to remember here is that dollars follow value. So if you're doing some marketing and you're not getting results, you're not really getting traction, or you're not, say you have some sales material, but you're not really getting, the sales conversion that you want, think about how you can add more value. And this is something that I think, Atlas would agree with. They're always trying to equip you with these tools to give your market, to show them the value, what they can potentially invest in. So think about how you can add more value, and the dollars will follow that. We've seen, we've probably all heard of marketing funnels before. It's kind of this like sexy new thing. Like, yeah, I set up a marketing funnel, and basically it's an ATM machine for your business. It's not that easy, of course, but this is basic, and this is nothing new. This is the basic premise of marketing. Now, what happens, I talked about that 5 to 10% group A, that most roofing companies are marketing to. And what they're doing is they're marketing here: calls to action, web forms, contact us today, free estimate, free inspection, whatever that may be. And most companies are missing out on this type of content up here, which is super valuable for people that are going to be making that decision within the next 90 days, 120 days, 6 months, 12 months, whatever. So most companies are focused only on convert and kind of ignoring this top of funnel content here. And also, which we'll get into in a little bit, is this retention type content of staying in front of your list and in front of your prospects and clients. So once you have your content mapped out, you have to dial in your web presence, like have your website ready to go. So when you are bringing traffic to your website or landing pages, you want to build trust, and you want to be able to convert as many quality visitors into prospects as possible. Google My Business should be set up so you have a lot of 5-star reviews. So when someone is Googling your company's name, even if someone's referred to your business, they're going to go online and check out, like, who are these guys? I want to check out the reviews. That's consumer behavior these days. We all want to have more control over the types of decisions that we make, our research, our evaluation. So what is someone finding when they search for your company name? If you want to do that now or after the presentation, you might find some surprises there, or hopefully you're happily surprised with all the great reviews that you have. You need to have your social platforms dialed in, even if you're not doing advertising these days. Having a Facebook, having an Instagram profile that are up to date at least weekly is going to help. People are doing their research. They're going to go to your website. They're going to expect to be able to go to a Facebook page and see an active page and see what you guys are up to. And if they see a page that hasn't been updated in 6 months, then they're going to be like, well, are these guys, like, are they still in business, or do they care, or what's their deal? So even if you're not doing advertising, having that up to date on a weekly basis is going to be huge. I was going to show examples, but I don't want to go to the web. I want to save some time here. So then once you have your website dialed in, your hub, like, what's the traffic strategy? We talked about this before. Offline, you have a lot of things going on, radio, TV, billboards, all those sort of things, yard signs, wrap trucks, business cards, networking events. So you're bringing traffic to your website from those avenues. And then online, we have these channels that we've been discussing. We also have opportunities to do referral campaigns, reaching out to clients, reaching out to past clients and generating referrals that way, bringing people to your website. We also have database marketing, which is marketing to your lists. So if you've been in business a few years, you've got some past clients, you've got some past prospects, probably a lot of past prospects who maybe weren't ready to buy for whatever reason, but you haven't kept in touch with them. And then other kind of industry associates, real estate agents, insurance broker, whatever it may be, other professionals in your area that have the potential to be kind of a sphere of influence and a referral partner for your business. And we want to make sure that we're getting people's attention. Content is not king. Just putting out content like I talked about on Facebook, you're not going to get that organic reach. That's not enough. You need to be able to get your market's attention. And that's what building a brand is all about, is getting the attention of your market so your market knows who you are so they can contact you when they're ready to buy. So this is what we're talking about in a visual sense, having your conversion mechanism, your website here, and I would even throw landing pages into this little red circle. And then you have all these other kind of spokes pointing to the hub that's your website. So this is what you want to figure out, like where is your traffic coming from? Maybe you don't care about organic SEO or Google. That's fine. It's your business. Maybe you're not doing AdWords. Maybe one of these things is going to be the biggest driver of traffic to your website. So figure out what those levers are and what you can pull and what you can adjust to get those inquiries that you need, get those leads that you need, get those customers that you need to grow your business. So let me take a breath here, do a quick poll. Do you have a follow-up system for engaging and nurturing your list? So A, yes, we have a solid system. B, we have something, but we don't use it. And C, no.
Great. Most of you all are voting. Lots of feedback coming in.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right, that's pretty, there's some good parity there. So 31% yes, 31% yes, but we don't use it, and 38% no. So those of you in that first in A know what I'm about to talk about and know the impact that it can have on your business. And for those of you who aren't, just want to introduce you to a couple ideas and strategies that you can put into place to really like turbocharge your business. I mean, this stuff can have a huge impact. If you have a CRM and you're not using it, then it's going to be imperative. Like I said, people are going to come in contact with your business. The companies that have the ability to stay in front of those prospects for several months are going to experience a huge upside. So some of these CRMs are compatible with other software tools, like there's AccuLinks, there's Job Nimbus, Job Progress, Contractors Cloud. There's a dozen of them. So figure out what's best for your business, what's going to be easiest for you guys to use, and use that religiously. Having an email component to your follow-up system, SMS, having text message follow-ups to your system. Open rates on text messages and reply rates on text messages are like 5 to 8 times greater than email. So we have systems that we use for ourselves and for our clients to have like automated text message follow-up systems to homeowners when they become a lead. So you're engaged with them right away and in a personal way where they're going to respond. So that's going to be a huge win over the next few years. Some people are doing even voicemail drops. The automated systems to be able to drop voicemails into a couple hundred people at once without having their phone ring. So those can be worth testing out as well. And with all your follow-up, the mindset is not to, as with anything in marketing, it's not to just tout how great you are, but it's to focus on value. Again, back to that consumer awareness content. What do people need to make a smart decision, and how can you put some of that value in front of them? There's 2 components to this, to a follow-up system. If you're doing any sort of lead gen, like especially digital lead gen, the immediacy is huge. So when you have a referral, when someone's referred to your business, you can take your time, get back to them in a day or two. In most cases, no big deal. When you're doing digital advertising, when a lot of people maybe they don't have that strength of that referral, then getting back to people immediately is going to be huge. And then following up with people frequently. With a lot of our clients, sometimes, or some of our clients, they'll say, yeah, we generate all these leads and we haven't been able to get in touch with people. This is especially true with companies that are just doing advertising or online advertising for the first time. It's like, well, you might not reach people on the first try. You might have to go, 5, 8, 10 contacts before you actually reach them. And the sales pros in here will recognize that. You have to stay in front of people, email, text, voicemail, showing up, whatever that may be, depending on your business. But you got to stay in touch with them frequently and
Joe,
make.
what do you suggest for a CRM and also for a SMS system? We have some questions around that.
A CRM. Um, Based on our experience working with roofing companies, I think that the biggest ones I see that are asked about in say the Facebook groups are AccuLynx and JobNimbus.
Sure.
Um, in our experience, AccuLynx is more of a closed system. So if you're talking about like you want to like say you're doing Facebook ads and you want to pump those leads that you get right into AccuLynx, it's very difficult to do that without like some custom software development.
Yeah.
AccuLynx is working on that right now. But with Job Nimbus, for example, it's much more straightforward. Like you can pump Facebook leads right into Job Nimbus. And
Right.
then with other platforms like Contractors Cloud, I'll get to this in the next couple of slides, you can send out automated emails based on, what stage people are at, prospects are at in your CRM. So I don't know, that's my take for what
Yeah.
it's worth. And then
No,
what was your second question?
for SMS, is there a specific software or system that you found that integrates well within a CRM or even as a separate independent standalone system?
Some CRMs have their own. So like Active Campaign, for example, is an email marketing tool that has their own SMS. But it depends what you want. So you can have a two-way SMS where if someone becomes a lead, the way that we have it set up
Yeah.
with all of our clients is that the homeowner receives a text message right away saying, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, just want to let you know that we received your info and we'll be contacting you shortly."
Hmm.
So that's the basic level. But if the homeowner, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, respond to that text, then that's where you need kind of the more robust system where you have like a dashboard where you can go back, like a web-based dashboard where you can go back and forth with that homeowner. Podio is one, Podio. Salesforce also has a tool. A lot of these have require some customization.
Okay.
Scipio is another one that's kind of newer, but they're popping up all over the place.
Cool. And then one other question, this seems to be a hot topic on following up and interacting with your customers. Voicemail drops. Kevin wanted to know, do voicemail drops, is that worth it? Do you recommend those? Some apparently they're getting some leads on voicemail drops and wondering is that worth the investment?
I honestly do not know. It's something that we don't do currently. I just want to be straightforward about that. I know
Yeah,
it's something that a lot of companies are doing. Um, it's worth testing. I just don't have enough context on that, so apologize for
sure,
that.
sure. Okay.
um, cool.
So cool. You were talking about, I think you were about to go into, yep,
Yeah, so follow-up systems, I mean, this is like if you have an existing list, you can send out a series of, seasonal offers, some content like, hey, winter's coming, here's some things you want to make sure, your roof is in order, whatever that may be, or hey, we experienced like in Atlanta, like I know you guys had a lot of windstorms this year. Hey, we've experienced a lot of windstorms this year. Winter's coming, just want to, make sure that these things your roof is intact. People
yep,
can sign up, people can not sign up, they can get another email. So this is what's called like a classic if then. Like if they open the email, then great, they get this other email. Or sorry, if they sign up, they get this other email. If they don't sign up, then they get this whole sequence. So these are just some of the things that are available. And if this is important to your business or you think it's something that you want to do, then when you're choosing a CRM, this is something that you want to check,
right,
that your CRM has. This is a lead follow-up system that a lot of, I would say bigger and more established companies have, especially again doing digital advertising. So, a lead comes in, and this is where your CRM becomes very important. So if a lead gets entered into your CRM, then an automatic email goes out. Maybe it's like, hey, thanks for contacting ABC Roofing. Here's some things that you need to know, or maybe here's some reviews of us, or here's some different color options, or use those tools that Atlas provides you to really showcase why you guys are different. And then once the appointment's set, you can have a few emails going out like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, here's what to expect at your appointment on Saturday. It's going to take 30 minutes. We're going to get on your roof, and then we're going to want to talk to you after that and go over some options and show you what we found, whatever that may be. Then you get the point, once the appointment is completed, then you can have emails that get kicked out. And these are all stages that you're kind of dragging these prospects through in your CRM. So when a prospect gets to the, say, appointment completed stage, then an email gets automatically kicked out. So this is a system that takes a little while and takes a lot of work to build out, but it can be largely automated, and it can have a huge effect on your business. And once you
Yeah.
estimate.
So one question, Joe, that came in was about the follow-up system. So just for clarity, this is a system that can be set up within your CRM tool, and Atlas does provide marketing materials that you can embed into there. For example, videos for your homeowner, roof design to studio tools that they can use to actually preview their home before they install the roof, things like that. But you would want to get this and look into this within your CRM tool in terms of a follow-up system, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Use those tools that Atlas provides for sure. And a lot of companies that I was talking about that company in Texas before. They're starting to promote their window replacement service. They have a list of 6,000 people that are
Yeah.
past clients, past customers, other people. So they might not even need to do like advertising. They can just go to their list and
Right.
work a system like this, and it can have a profound effect.
Yeah, if you're not capturing your leads, then I would encourage you to reach out to some of the CRM tools that Joe has mentioned on here and at least get a free trial. A lot of them offer, I believe Job Nimbus does some sort of free trial even to just try their system out, to get familiar with it. They'll give you a free walkthrough. So sign up with them, see what tools they offer, and I would, start capturing your leads because those leads, as we all know, are golden.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for tying that into, some of the tools that Atlas has. That makes a lot of sense. So we
Cool.
talked about a lot of this, having the tools, having your marketing calendar, who's going to run it. So these are all like tips to make sure that you're actually doing this, because we all, we're all gung ho here. Okay, this is a great idea. I'm going to do this, but we need to make sure that we have someone to run it. This is especially, some of the benefits of this. Like if you have multiple services, like I talked about, some people might know you as a roofing company, but if you also do windows and siding, maybe your past customers don't know that. And there's nothing worse than driving down the street and seeing a homeowner that you did a roof for a few years ago, and they're getting their siding and windows done, and you're like,
Yeah.
man, I didn't get that job. Why didn't I get that job? Well, they probably didn't know that you do windows and siding because you didn't tell them about it. So database marketing can be huge for that. Seasonal things, we all know when spring's coming, right? So we can plan out some of these campaigns and some of this content, over the winter, so we're not scrambling when spring comes. If anyone does storm restoration, insurance restoration, having some of these systems in place can be key. A storm is coming or a storm hits, hail, wind, hurricane, whatever, then you can get out in front of your market and get in front of them. Hey, hurricane's about to come. Here's some things you need to know. Hey, hurricane came through. Here's some things you need to know. Just helping them make smart decisions. Running referral campaigns can be huge, whether there is just people giving you referrals out of the good of their heart, or you have some sort of incentive program, or you're paying for referrals or whatever that may be. That can be a huge thing to run through your database. Hiring campaigns. We're going to a career fair tomorrow at our local university, Monmouth University here in New Jersey, and we're hiring for a couple positions right now. But what we're really doing is we're building our hiring network so that when we do hire in the future, we send out an email to our kind of like hiring list, an active campaign, and it makes that hiring process a lot easier than going to the job boards every time you need to hire.
Right.
So that could be huge there to have a separate list just for hiring. And then community involvement. I know a lot of companies care about giving back to their community, becoming a part of their community. And so keeping people aware of like some of those events on social media and on email can be huge. So tying it all together, how's all this get done? Again, we went through the 6 components here. And really, what I hope you took away from this is that you got an understanding of how some of these parts work. I know I went through a ton here, but having this understanding is huge. Taking the time to plan is going to be huge. These acronyms here, So there's different models. There's the do-it-yourself model. Like if you're going to do all your marketing yourself, that's cool. There's the done-for-you model where you hire a marketing company to do everything for you. Or there's the done-with-you model, which I recommend, which is where you're doing some of these things in-house and you are also hiring a marketing company or some other experts to help you fill in those gaps, like those technical gaps. The done with you model, in my experience, my professional opinion, is going to be the most successful because you're invested in it, you're collaborating with a marketing company, and it's something that it's really baked into the DNA of your business. So those are different models that you can kind of follow. And then, with everything, make sure you're planning this out and be accountable to your calendar to make sure that you're running these campaigns, promotions. It's going to give you a much better chance of hitting your goals.
Yeah, consistency is definitely key when it comes to marketing and building a brand. You want to make sure that your messaging and is as consistent as possible. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. So I think that's all I have for now. I just want to point you towards some resources. We recorded
Great.
a bunch of, what's that?
I say great.
Oh, we recorded a bunch of videos that go a little deeper on some of these topics. So I'll share that link with you in the next slide. We also put together some guides for you. We have a 12-month marketing plan, essential discovery questions to sit down at your conference room table or wherever it is that you sit down and plan these things out. We have digital marketing checklists to make sure that you're checking all these things off that I just talked about. And then we talked about the hiring things. So we have a 5-step cut and paste. Nothing's cut and paste in marketing. It's all testing. So take that with a grain of salt, but it's a template that you can use to build that out. And then we have opportunities to get on a strategy call with me. I'm not a hardcore sales guy. I love helping people. We're dedicated to the industry, whether it's answering some questions, getting some clarity on these things, pointing in the right direction. If there's an opportunity to work together, that's awesome. And we also have group Q&A calls that we run a couple times a month. And we reserve those for clients, but we're opening those up for Atlas for people on this webinar who want to get in on those Q&A calls and just get some clarity on your marketing questions. So all that can be found at this link here, Contractor Dynamics, which is our website, .com/Atlas. And I'll leave that here too. If you want to do a little Q&A, I know we're butting up against the hour, but see, we still have most of the attendees here. So I'm happy to open up some questions. Tiara,
Yeah,
it's up to you.
and I think if you guys are on this call and you've been fumbling with your marketing and you're looking to really consolidate and use some of these tools that Joe has pitched, please reach out to him. We highly recommend Contractor Dynamics. They've done an awesome job in their marketing and building a brand and their customers with their customers and partnering with their contractors to really help them realize their marketing. And so I highly suggest that you all take advantage of the contractordynamics.com/Atlas URL. Also, Atlas will be having a page that with some of these resources on here coming up in the next couple of months. So look for an email on that and then reach out to Joe. But go ahead and populate some questions. Let's see, we're right up against the hour. So if you guys have any questions, we can take them now. No questions? Nothing coming up? Well, you were pretty thorough, Joe, and did a great job of presenting, really how to realize your brand and what things that these contractors on the call need to consider. So thank you so much.
Sure. I know that was a lot, but hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of it. And feel free
A
to get in
couple of
touch.
questions that did pop in. Let's see. How do we get all of these marketing tools and Facebook and SEO working together? How do you kind of get the ball rolling? What should they start first with? What do you recommend as an immediate next step?
There's a lot of context there. It depends on where you are with your business. If you're just starting out, having that hub, having that awesome website that's going to showcase, your work, your capabilities, bring some personality into your business. That's going to be cool. That's going to be essential. Having a Google My Business. So if you go to google.com/business, setting up that profile so you can get Google reviews, setting up a Facebook page. I think those would be the 3 essential things to start out with, and make sure that, you have your contact info is the same on all those platforms, and your logo and your brand and your colors are all the same. That's gonna be like the foundation for a brand. Um,
Great.
hope that answers your
How
question.
about hiring? So you mentioned having that five-step hiring copy and paste guide. Do you recommend social media for getting new leads, LinkedIn, Facebook, or how do you recommend folks go about trying to hire within their local markets?
Yeah, I mean it's like marketing. Like there's a lot of components to that. You know, it can be just in-person networking and all that. I know like a lot of companies, a lot of construction companies will go on Craigslist to try to find new employees, and that can be, you know, that can be good or bad. The job boards, like we use Indeed and ZipRecruiter, so those can be good, but you have to work through those. But we
Hmm.
Facebook ads with video campaigns, like the one I showed you before with our client Brett, just getting on camera and saying, hey, like here's what we're about, here's our culture. You know, we were looking for types of people that are smart and want to really work hard and roll up their sleeves. And I think that can attract those people that are like that don't just want a paycheck. You know, those people that want to
Yeah,
work for a company, a cool company. So and
yeah.
that's cheap. I mean, that's running video ads on Facebook is very inexpensive, and that's something that you can always kind of have running.
And the reach is awesome for, like you said, the pennies of
Yeah.
investment. What about your services? We have a couple questions about all of the depth of what your service at Contractor Dynamics offer.
Okay.
I mean, like SEO, you mentioned social, you mentioned kind of managing CRM.
Yeah, I guess I'm a bad sales guy because I didn't put a slide that includes all that.
You
But
said
if you
you're
go to
not salesy. Hey, yeah, I get
it's all
it.
about education. But yeah, if you go to our website or go to slash Atlas, you'll see that. Uh, I guess a couple of things that we do most. First is just like, you know, that first question, like building out that. I assume if you're just starting out, like building out that website, building out the Google page, like getting all that dialed in, writing some content, like having that foundation there. So I guess like website building would be one, but included in that is like us writing your content and your messaging and everything like that.
Mhm.
Another thing that we do, one of our popular services, I guess, is called Construction Engine, where we build everything, like everything that I went through in this presentation, we build it all out. So we build out your website, we build out your email follow-up campaigns. We build out your text message follow-up campaigns. We build your social media advertising campaigns. We write the copy. We put together video scripts for you to do videos. Like we do that whole thing. Um, you know, we have clients that fly into our office to sit here for a day and map that out. So this time of year, we have clients coming in to sit down and map out their 2019. So, you know, literally, we're talking about we're writing ad copy right now for clients for tax rebates. You know, people get their tax rebates back in the spring. We already have a campaign that's going to be ready to go when that hits. Like,
Yeah,
hey, you got some extra money in your pocket. Now's the time to invest in that project that you've always wanted to do.
yeah,
So that's the engine. So I'd say websites engine, and in the engine that includes like SEO, includes Facebook. So we can build that out, and you can like run that engine, so to speak, on a monthly basis. Or what happens a lot is like we build out the whole infrastructure, and then we help you run that. We help you run your Facebook campaigns and SEO and follow-ups and all that.
yeah. So, I mean, in short, Dynamics can really assist your business. I see a lot of comments on here about, okay, I have CRM, I have social media, and I have an email database, but I need to kind of get all of them synchronized. So, for sure, send Joe an email. His contact is on the screen, and just schedule one of those Q&A sessions. Schedule time to jump in on one of their brainstorming sessions that they have with their clients to get some ideas and some next steps. And Joe, thanks again so much for this time, and contractors obviously got a lot from it, so thanks again.
Thank you guys. Pleasure to be here. Thank you, Tiara. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, buddy, we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Bye bye.